Imagine discovering something so bizarre off the coast of Florida that within 48 hours, your entire town is evacuated.
The underwater scene is complex. It's very non-homogeneous.
The coast is sealed off by the military, and all satellite data is erased. This is the incredible true story of Florida's underwater anomaly.
What happened to the El Faro was a mystery. We didn't have any witnesses. We didn't have the evidence because it was lost to the seafloor.
A smooth, warm, metallic object that emits its own heartbeat and renders all electronics useless.
It looks like a crust.
Yeah.
Looks like a thick crust.
We have this black material shining through the cracks.
Where do you mean?
We'll explore why this discovery was deemed a national security risk, how it connects to ancient sunken cities like Pavlopetri, and what its existence means for our understanding of history and our future. Florida's underwater giant. The first signs did not come from scientists or officials. They came from fishermen who knew the Gulf better than anyone. They noticed strange shapes on their sonar screens, tall vertical lines that looked too sharp to be reefs or rocks. Some thought it might be a hidden wreck. Florida waters are full of sunken ships, but when divers went down, the truth shocked them. 30 feet below the surface, buried in silt, was a huge metallic object. It was not broken or corroded like normal wreckage. The surface was smooth, solid, and warm to the touch. There were no bolts, no seams, no rust anywhere. It looked like one single piece of perfect construction. Markings covered the outside, but they were not letters or numbers. They were patterns that seemed to repeat yet had no meaning. Some divers said the object gave off a soft rhythm. It pulsed like a slow heartbeat in the water. The deeper they explored, the stranger it became. Compasses spun in circles, and depth gauges went blank. Radios stopped working whenever they got close. Even encrypted equipment went silent without warning. Within hours, rumors spread through nearby towns. By the next day, more divers tried to reach it. One group reported razor-sharp edges that cut their gloves. Another said the water around it was oddly warm. Fish avoided the site completely. Not a single barnacle or trace of sea life clung to it. Geologists brought samples back to the surface. They found nothing that matched any known metal or stone. The object was not natural, and it was not like anything built by human hands. Military lockdown and secrecy. 2 days after the divers made their report, control shifted. Local police stepped back as federal vehicles rolled in. Checkpoints were built on roads leading to the beach. Uniformed men with rifles stood guard and asked no questions. Helicopters hovered day and night over the shoreline. Navy ships appeared like shadows on the distant water. Bright floodlights turned quiet sands into restricted zones. Residents watched their homes glow under beams that never slept. Hotels closest to the shore were cleared in hours. Tourists were ordered to leave without collecting refunds. No clear reason was given for the evacuation. The phrase repeated again and again was a national security risk. Satellite maps of the Gulf went blank overnight. Weather apps stopped showing normal radar images for the area. Boats that drifted too close were forced back by patrols. Scientists with permits were told to stay away or face arrest. News anchors struggled to keep up with the silence. Their broadcasts offered little more than broken statements from officials. Locals started noticing strange malfunctions in daily life. Streetlights flickered, radios cut off, and power grids surged. Phones dropped calls even when towers were close by. Some people claimed to hear a deep humming after dark. At night, faint streaks of colored light appeared in the sky. They looked like auroras, but far too south for such a thing. Rumors spread faster than facts. The fewer people who were told, the more they imagined. By the end of the week, the message was clear. This was no longer a public coastline, but a sealed border. Whatever had been found in the water was no longer just strange. It had become untouchable, guarded, and hidden under layers of silence. What lies beneath? The first probes sent underwater were meant to answer questions. Instead, they only raised more fear. At first, cameras revealed something no one expected. Hollow spaces, stretched beneath the metallic shell like endless corridors. The walls seemed alive with faint moving light. Some chambers glowed as if they carried a hidden pulse. Technicians watching the footage said it looked like breathing. Slow expansions and contractions echoed through the empty halls. One probe drifted deeper into a wide circular chamber. The floor vibrated gently like a drum beneath the waves. Minutes later, the signal collapsed into static. When the probe was recovered, every circuit was destroyed. It was not a mechanical failure, but a complete electronic burn, as if an unseen force had erased it from within. Fragments already taken from earlier dives were tested again. Under high-powered microscopes, the surface revealed endless tiny grooves. They formed patterns so exact they defied natural origin. No chisels, no drills, no marks of any human tool. The alloy itself resisted classification. It was not steel, not iron, not stone. Every attempt to match its composition failed. Laboratories quietly admitted they had never seen anything like it. Even sonar refused to stay stable near the object. Scans showed its outline shifting, sliding slowly under the seabed. Some thought it was sinking deeper into the earth. Others whispered that it was moving by choice. The pulsing signal that radiated from the core changed daily. Sometimes fast like a racing heart, other times slow and calm. Experts tried to interpret the rhythm as language. No one could agree whether it was a message or noise. Officials denied that the structure was active, but divers who stood near it felt dizzy and weak. Whispers spread of a machine that was not broken, a machine that might have been waiting in silence for centuries. Every clue pointed to something unnatural beneath the gulf. Not wreckage, not geology, but a presence hidden under the waves. And with each passing day, the feeling grew stronger. Whatever it was, it did not seem entirely asleep.
Now first, like always, be sure to hit the like button down below. It helps us out tremendously with the reach of this video. Thank you.
Pavlopetri, the oldest sunken city. Far from Florida, another story lies beneath the sea. This one is not secret, but still feels unreal. Just off the southern coast of Greece rests Pavlopetri. It is the oldest known sunken city in the world. The ruins sit only a few feet below clear water. Streets, walls, and tombs are visible to the naked eye. The site was first noticed in the early 1900s. For decades, it remained forgotten until divers returned in the 1960s. They mapped out buildings, courtyards, and even a drainage system. It was not a temple or shrine, but a living town. Pottery showed people lived there as early as 3,500 BCE. That means it was already ancient when Greek myths were young. Families worked, traded, and stored goods in stone houses. The narrow lanes connected homes, much like modern streets. The sea swallowed it slowly after earthquakes struck the region. Rising waters eventually covered the entire settlement. Unlike other ruins, Pavlopetri was never rebuilt or disturbed. It stayed untouched, frozen in time under gentle waves. Today, snorkelers can still glide over its remains. The lost town stands as a reminder that the ocean always remembers. Baiae, Rome's sunken sin city. On the coast of Italy, another drowned city tells its story. This one belonged to Rome and was famous for pleasure and power. Baiae was the playground of emperors and generals. They built villas, bathhouses, and halls decorated with mosaics and marble. The town was known for gossip and excess. Writers of the time called it a place where morals faded. But the land it sat on was never stable. It rested above a volcanic field that shifted without warning. Slowly, the ground sank and the sea crept in. Over centuries, courtyards and streets slipped beneath the waves. Divers today can still swim over banquet halls. Replicas of statues stand in the spots where originals were found. The ruins include wide floors of colored marble. Even paved roads and sections of the harbor remain in place. Some areas still bubble with volcanic gas vents. It is a reminder that the earth below never sleeps. Now, Baiae is an underwater archaeological park. Tourists can see it by boat, snorkel, or scuba dive. It is both a beauty and a warning. A city of luxury lost forever to the sea. SS Central America, America's lost gold ship. In the mid-1800s, a steamship carried more than passengers. It carried the wealth of an entire nation. The SS Central America was loaded with California gold. It was bound for New York to support struggling banks. In September 1857, it sailed into a powerful hurricane. Winds tore the ship apart and water rushed inside. The boilers failed, and the engine stopped turning. The crew and passengers fought to keep it alive. Rescue ships saved some women and children, but more than 400 people were lost at sea. Along with them, tons of gold slipped into the deep. The disaster pushed the United States into financial panic. For over a century, the wreck lay untouched. It rested nearly 2 miles below the ocean surface. In the 1980s, explorers finally found it again. Robotic vehicles filmed paddle wheels and piles of treasure. Coins and bars glittered under bright lights after 130 years. It became one of the greatest recoveries in history. Legal battles followed over ownership of the find, but the mystery of the lost gold captured imaginations worldwide. The ship became a legend, a reminder that fortune and tragedy often share the same deck. The sea hides secrets deeper than we can imagine. Some are ancient cities, others are ships filled with treasure. Florida's strange giant is only the latest mystery. It reminds us that the ocean still holds unanswered questions. Every ruin, every wreck, carries echoes of lives once lived. Every silence beneath the waves may hide something waiting to be found. The ocean does not forget. It only keeps what we have not yet uncovered. And when it reveals its secrets, the world is never the same again. The next discovery could already be rising from below.